Hello, Dumaguete.
Hello, Negros Oriental.
Hello, Sillimanians around the world.
This is Joshua Soldivillo.
And this is Ronelyn Vailoces.
You're watching
Silliman. For Silliman updates, the Silliman University College of Law produced 39 new lawyers and got a 100% passing rate for the first-time takers. The university also produced 8 exemplary passers of the recently concluded bar exams. Congratulations to all who were instrumental in this milestone. And to our new lawyers, the Silliman community is so proud of you.
Meanwhile, the massive open online course, or MOOC, spearheaded by the American Corner Dumaguete and Silliman University, recently concluded the COVID-19 Vaccine Ambassadors Training last April 20 to 22, 2022. The course was offered by Johns Hopkins University through Coursera. Congratulations!
On another news, the Student Housing and Residence Division, or SHRD, invites Silliman students who wish to stay in 3 campus dormitories for the upcoming limited face-to-face classes starting May 11, 2022 to June 3, 2022. For more information, you may visit the official website and Facebook page of Silliman University. That would be all. See you next week for another set of #Silliman updates. Good evening, everyone. This is a magazine program that talks about different aspects of Silliman University.
A program initiated to discuss matters concerning the campus by the Say. You're watching #Silliman. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, Sillimanians and friends of Silliman around the world. Thank you for making #Silliman as your Monday night habit. One of the fundamental concepts in the Constitution is our rights, human rights. And it says that no person shall be deprived the right to life, liberty, and property. And if we got troubles with these rights, who are we going to call? Definitely, you will need a lawyer. Joining us tonight are the prime movers of the College of Law. And of course, we've invited a passer of the recent bar examinations to share his experiences as he took the bar examinations recently last February. So I'd like to introduce first the Dean of the College of Law. We have Attorney Myles Bejar. Good evening, sir, and welcome to the program.
Yeah, thank you for having us. May gabi to everyone, to the viewers of #Silliman.
We also have here with us tonight a faculty member of the Silliman University College of Law, and she was also the top-notcher of the 2016 bar exams. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Attorney Chielo Ybio.
Good evening to all our televiewers and to the YouTube subscribers of #Silliman. Thank you for having us.
Of course, last but not the least, the soon-to-be attorney, Engineer Luigi Jess Jaro. Good evening, Engineer.
Hi,
Congratulations.
YouTube. Oh, sorry for cutting you
Yeah,
there.
sure.
Hi, YouTube. Thank you for having us. Josh, Ron, thank you for having us. It's a pleasure to be here.
All right. So I'll get the I'll give the floor right away to Attorney Myles Bejar. Attorney, would you like to say your congratulations to our proud parents, to our faculty members, as well as to our students?
Yes, thank you for giving us this opportunity to congratulate all, not only those coming from Silliman University, who as many of you know, we garnered a 100% passing rate in the recently concluded bar examinations, as well as having been ranked by the Supreme Court as #1 in the category of 11 to 50 examinees with 8 exemplary bar passers. So I'd like to congratulate the bar passers from Silliman as well as from the other law schools here in the province of Negros Oriental. To the parents, I know that you put so much sacrifice in your children. I'd like to congratulate you for having lawyers, bringing lawyers, for having supported the dreams of your children in becoming lawyers. I'd also like to thank and congratulate the faculty of the law school for a job well done. Thank you.
Congratulations to our new lawyers. Because we are talking about the bar exams, or recently concluded bar exams, I would like to also ask Attorney Bejar, how different is this year's bar exam than the previous bar exams that we had?
Right. Very different. As many of you already know, The bar exams that was held last February was the first of its kind in terms of one, it was localized. In other words, before there was only one examination venue, and this was in Metro Manila. The most recent was the University of Santo Tomas. No? So for 4 Sundays of a given month, in the past, this was in the month of November, all bar examinees would gather in Metro Manila and take the exam at UST. But beginning this year, under the reforms instituted by the Supreme Court, they localized or regionalized the bar examinations. And for the past bar exam, there were 31 bar venues, bar exam centers spread across the Philippines. So that's the first change. And second is the bar exams this year was also digitalized.
Okay.
First digital bar examination, wherein examinees were required to bring their laptops with them,
Their own.
their own laptops, and they could answer the bar examination questions using their laptops, using a special software prescribed by the Supreme Court. No? So it for the law faculty and for many, if not all of the law schools, this was a welcome change. No? It took away, for example, the factor of handwriting.
Yes.
Because now, as we all know, everybody is very proficient in typing on
Correct,
keyboards,
that's right.
rather than
Handwriting.
handwriting. So this took away that factor. And second, it also saved parents and the bar examinees a substantial sum of money. Instead of going to Manila,
Right.
staying there for several months, they could choose which bar exam testing center they could take the exam
Yes.
in the provinces. And Dumaguete was one.
Wow. So there are quite a lot of, different changes. No? Totally, I would say totally different mechanisms set by the Supreme Court this year. So I'd like to go to our soon-to-be attorney because technically he still needs to
Take the oath.
Okay. So, Engineer Luigi, what changed after the bar examination?
Well, the most obvious is I got a lot of phone calls lately. From call center lately, I've been hearing or getting calls left and
Are
right.
these job offers? or
Most of them are now consultations.
Oh.
And I can't even practice yet, and now everyone's asking for, what should I do with this case? What should I
Okay.
do with this case? But
Right.
on a more serious note, I could now begin to pursue my advocacies that I have developed during my law studies. So now I get to focus on that and finally get a career in law and finally be the kind of lawyer that I want to be. And Silliman has helped me a lot with that.
Right. So speaking about your experience, recently it seems it was very overwhelming.
It was very challenging.
Yeah. So what were the challenges that you have before, like just recently before you took the exam, as well as during? Because I believe, Ron, they also had this swab testing.
We
or-
did.
Before you can take the test. So what were the challenges that you actually faced?
Okay, going to the bar exam, definitely on the top of my mind, the biggest challenge was the isolation process because we cannot take the bar exam if we have a negative result or a positive result rather in the swab test. So months leading to that, me and my batchmates would isolate literally even the air. We would seal all the air pockets in our room.
Right.
And because of that, we had to eat processed food for more than 1 month. So pabalik-balik kami og canned goods, processed meat, mga hot dogs, century tuna, all
Not
that.
even the delivered.
No, we cannot allow delivery in because
Okay.
ma-expose man me because
Right.
we know that Grab drivers, they go around the city, so we don't know if they'll be bringing in COVID or whatnot. So we had to isolate. So that alone was the biggest challenge in reviewing for the bar.
Wow.
And also, if we were hit by the audit.
Yes.
So
yes.
the place we were staying, I think 4 kami in our room, and our room was ravished by Odette. So that's one thing. Good for my roommates because they were lucky enough to evacuate, but I had to stay behind because our books were there, our laptops were there. So ako ang ni-volunteer to guard them. So there was a time when I had to study without electricity, without Wi-Fi for a lot. I think it was 2 weeks, and that is one of the reasons why the Supreme Court yet again postponed the bar exam because. Mga Visayas nga bar takers were severely affected by the typhoon.
Yeah, I think it was more than twice, Attorney Myles, that the examination was postponed.
Yes. The first time was because of a surge in the COVID rate, and then the second one was because of typhoon.
So, hearing Engineer Jaro, I can really say that there were a lot of sacrifices they really, need to do to become a lawyer. Now, so I'd also like to ask Attorney Chielo, can you also share to the audience about your experiences when you took the 2016 bar exams, especially that you hailed as a top 9, I think so?
That's
right?
correct.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yes, of course. During my time, we were still in the traditional way of taking the bar exam, and that was for 4 Sundays for the month of November 2016. And based on my experience, I traveled the road less traveled, I would say, because normally or usually most of my classmates would flock in Manila and review there. But in my case, I just studied at home.
Oh, okay.
And I just went to Manila during the month that I was supposed to take the bar exam, which was in November. So that's my experience way then.
So you did not enroll for, what do you call that?
Bar review.
Yeah.
A review center.
A review center.
I took some classes in Cebu, but I wasn't able to finish it because in my mind, I was more effective if I just studied alone, isolate myself from all the rest, and just have a quiet time to study and to pore over my books.
Yeah, yet you became the top 9, no?
Wow. Ang galing naman. Ang galing. Attorney Myles, this is also in connection with your experiences. Can you still recall your personal experience as well as you took the bar examination? How was it?
Well, I took the bar examination in 1991. So
Quite recent.
Yeah, quite recent. So it tells you my age. And during that time, the bar venue was at I forgot the name of the university.
Is this in Manila?
It's in Metro Manila, MLQU, Manuel L. Quezon University. And so the facilities then were not as sophisticated or were not as comfortable as now. No? In recent years, the bar exams have been held at LaSalle, the LSU, and at UST. And so you can't just imagine the facilities they have.
Yeah.
So during that time, the rooms were not air-conditioned. The chairs were all wooden. And we were not allowed to go out to use the restroom, except for the ladies. So there was a can at the back of the room.
God.
So if you needed to pee, you pee at the back of the room. So this was almost 30 years ago. So there's really a big difference now.
Yes.
And I'm happy for that change because it allows our examinees, diba? It gives them, it makes them more comfortable. It gives them a comfortable setting to take the bar exams rather than what we experienced in the past.
Wow. So these sharings, indeed, no, we can see the transition run from the early years of the bar examinations up to the recent one. It's already digitized, no. So we have migrated to the digital way of doing the bar examinations. Now, most of the, let's say, preconceptions about lawyers is that lawyers are liars. Is this true? And what are your take on this? So you will answer that after we pause for a short break. Welcome back, everyone. You're still watching Silliman. So before we paused for a short break, we actually thrown a question to our guest. Are lawyers really liars? Maybe I'm interested to know the answer of Attorney Chielo.
Yeah, I mean, that depends on the person, but
Okay.
I would like to think that Silliman lawyers are not liars. Since the first day of law school, we were taught, and it has been structurally instilled to our minds that we should govern ourselves always with law, but with a conscience. And I would like to think also that from the moment that we graduate up to the time that we take the title to our names, the ATTY, we'll still be governed with that mantra or that slogan,
Which
Yeah.
is law.
with the
With a
conscience.
conscience.
Yeah.
Attorney Mas, would like to add
Yes,
something?
I'm happy that Attorney Chielo mentioned that, no, because legal education in the Silliman tradition is not limited to the study of the principles and theories of law. No?
Okay.
Being a Christian education of Christian institution of higher education, the Silliman College of Law also believes that the values and the principles of the Christian faith must also be taught to our students, no? Along with law. No? So that accounts for the mantra of the law school, law with a conscience.
How about Engineer Luigi?
I guess one thing we pride in Silliman is that we believe in a holistic approach. I think we have the 4Cs program here in Silliman where we are taught not only what is important in the classroom,
The 5Cs, yeah.
the 5Cs rather. So one of the most important is the church.
Correct.
Being a scholar during my college years, one of the requirements was for me to serve the church. So along with me and my classmates, it was inculcated in us early on that this is how we should conduct ourselves as persons first, then as students, then in the future as lawyers. So parang we are holistically developed by Silliman in that way. Not only not being taught what the law is, but to be good persons as well in its very core. So we have that foundation in us. And I think that's very important. To be good persons first before we become good lawyers.
To be good persons first before they become good lawyers, including myself.
Why
I'd
not,
like to
Ron?
In the
ask
future, maybe if you'd like to join us.
pressure. I'd like to ask Dean Myles, what does it take to be a good lawyer?
And if I may add, before you answer, Dean, is there any course that could be considered as a good pre-law?
Okay, let me answer first the question.
Yeah.
The first question. Being a good lawyer actually depends on the person himself or herself. Okay, one, you must have obviously the knowledge of the law.
Right.
Okay, a good knowledge of the law. At the same time, you must be a disciplined person. No, because without discipline, I mean, law is a very they say that law is a jealous mistress.
Oh.
Okay, and therefore, if you don't put much time into your craft, into your profession, then how can you become a good lawyer?
Right.
Okay, so you must have good knowledge of the law. You must have the necessary discipline. Okay, and of course you must have and this is also what's important. I think this is also what distinguishes Silliman law graduates or Silliman lawyers. There is a saying that lawyers have callous hearts. Okay.
Yeah.
But I think all of us here believe that at times you must also have empathy.
Right.
Okay, to your clients and even to those who oppose your clients. No? Because you have to understand certain situations. No? While you pursue the interests of your clients, you must also understand really the circumstances behind every case. No? Rather than just simply concentrate on your lawyer's fees, attorney's fees,
Right.
etc. So yeah, there are many other factors, but these are the three factors that I can immediately think of right now, just to answer your question.
Okay.
So, yeah, in that connection, attorney, will it matter whether I graduated with a degree in the college level, no? With engineering or accounting or let's say even education?
Yeah. So again, to your question, my answer to your question, what would be a good pre-law course? Again, it depends on yourself. Okay, it's how you make. It's how it's. Some say courses, science. You know, if you have a science degree, it's a good pre-law course. Others will say, and of course, Engineer Luigi here would say that engineering is a good law, is a good pre-law course. Yeah. It's biased, right? Attorney Chielo is a graduate of political science. I'm also a graduate of political science, so we'll probably say that political science is a good pre-law course. Yes. Okay, but again, it really depends. The basic requirement of law school is that you must have a bachelor's degree. Okay. It does not say what degree or what course. Okay, right. So it really depends on the person. We've had students, I was telling them earlier, that we've had students graduates from the College of Agriculture who've become lawyers, engineering, chemistry, education, nursing. Okay.
Different walks of life.
Different,
yeah. So, speaking of the kind of education that we give, law with conscience, and not only Silliman University migrated to the virtual space, but even the Supreme Court itself, during the pandemic times, it also migrated to online in the digital space. How did the members of the Silliman University College of Law faculty prepared for the transition as well, Attorney Chielo? Did you also attain or attend different seminars or workshops, or how about also with your, I believe there will be the MOOC courts. How are you going to do with it online?
Yeah. Of your question, we were basically aided by the MySol platform in our teaching pedagogy. So it's very helpful in a sense that it's very comprehensive. We can ably input our grades in that platform, conduct our classes through various modes such as Google Meet or Zoom and many other features. And I think one of the challenges, if I could just explain this on the personal level, I think one of the challenges in this online distance learning that we are now in is how to be creative in a sense that and effective in a sense that you ensure to the students that if they're really learning what you are teaching online. So as for myself, I really took some time on how to make my class recitations appear as if we are in the face-to-face classes. So because in the face-to-face classes pre-pandemic, we have to randomly call a student and have or her recited a particular case or a particular principle in law. Okay. But with this online distance learning that we now have, as a teacher, we are pressed with challenges on how to make that impression to the student that is still face-to-face classes. So as for myself, I needed to be creative, and I think the Dean of the College of Law, I shared this to the Dean that I devised a way of having a ruleta.
Wheel of names.
Oh yeah, wheel of names. That's true. On the screen. So if that student if that wheel would point to that student, so she or that student would recite.
So Josh, we are running out of time. So I'd like to ask our guest for tonight. I assume that there are a lot of people or the audiences there are aspiring to become lawyers. Perhaps what is your message for them who are watching, who wanted to become a lawyer, who wants to become a lawyer?
If I can answer that. I'm happy to announce to everyone that in spite of the pandemic, Silliman University College of Law has taken advantage really of the situation. In terms of it allowed us really to broaden our faculty lineup. Before, we would invite faculty from outside of Dumaguete. They would be visiting lecturers or visiting professors, but they would have to physically come.
Yes.
But with online distance learning, it allows us to engage faculty from outside of Dumaguete, especially for law courses that require very special skills. No? And we've taken advantage of that. Our current faculty, for the past 2 years, we've had faculty members from outside of Dumaguete, partners of big law firms in Metro Manila, as well as even cabinet members, no? Teaching here at the College of Law, although virtually. No?
Can you name some names?
Well,
Attorney?
for example, at present, we have one of the recently retired partners of CICIP Salazar, one of the biggest law firms in the Philippines, Attorney Mia Gentugaya, who's rated as among the top 100 female lawyers in the Philippines, and if I'm not mistaken, even Asia. We also have 2 partners of Accra Law with us right now.
Yeah.
And we've had even as part of our thesis, the College of Law of Silliman it's JD program, it's a thesis program. We've even had the former International Criminal Court judge, no, in the person of Judge Raul Pangalanan of the ICC, being part of the law school as part of our thesis program. No? Even Professor Harry Roque, former presidential spokesperson, who, by the way, is an expert in international law. Politics aside, who was part of the law school, taught international law. So even Secretary Nograles, no? Carlo Nograles became part of our thesis program, no, as a panelist. So we've taken advantage of it, and we intend to continue taking advantage of the opportunity that the pandemic has given to us in terms of online distance learning.
Thank you for that, Attorney Bejar. How about Attorney Chielo? What is your pieces of advice, or do you have pieces of advice that you can share to our aspiring lawyers?
And maybe you can also invite our aspiring lawyers to be part of the Silliman University College of Law family.
Yeah. As for my advice to aspiring lawyers out there, I would advise them to take more of a holistic approach in the study of law. It's not just a test of your intellectual capacity, but as well as your emotional adaptability. You will go through extreme circumstances that you've never imagined before. I would say extreme circumstance because you may feel various emotions that this time you have to take this role, and moments after you have to be this. Just like what Dean Bejar said, that you have to be aggressive in pursuing the interests of your clients, but at the same time, be an empath to other people who will be affected by the circumstances of your case. And in the process thereof, you have to take a character of being patient and of being humble, because learning law is a continuous process. You don't have a monopoly of knowledge. You have to learn from the best, and you have to take mentorship in the best ways that you can. So that would be my advice.
What are the admission requirements, Attorney Chielo, in the College of Law? Of course, Attorney Myles earlier mentioned about having that bachelor's degree, but do I need to take like an entrance examination, so on and so forth?
Yeah, in the College of Law, I would say that there is an interview, and you would also be asked to write an essay. Did I have it? Did I correct? Yes, sir. Yeah, you will be asked to write an essay, and along with the submission of your requirements, attesting that you've graduated from a bachelor's degree, and your transcripts as well.
Yeah, if I can add to that, I'm happy to tell everyone that at least for this coming school year, the Legal Education Board has declared that the PhilSat requirement, for medicine you have NMAT, but for law school you have PhilSat. No? There's no PhilSat for the coming school year. Okay. So in lieu of PhilSat, law schools have been advised to put in place their own retention programs, and Silliman Law School has done that. So all you need is basically to apply. We will be posting starting next week. We will be accepting applications for the first semester of school year 2022-2023. No? So please visit the website of Silliman University. go to the College of Law or the website, and it will be posted there. No? So we have the requirements there, which includes, aside from the basic requirements, no, bachelor's degree, etc. We have, as mentioned, the essay, the interview. You also have to send us a video of yourself, no, on explaining a certain topic. No? So it's all listed on the website of the university.
So I hope, Josh, our audience are taking down notes, no?
Yes, visit our website. That's www.su.edu.ph. You know, Ron, listening to Attorney Myles, Attorney Chielo, and of course, soon to be Attorney Jaro, it seems that I'm interested now to enroll at the College of Law, no?
Go na, Josh.
Okay. But attorneys, we have prepared a fast talk interview with you, so you don't have to think much about it.
That's
So
scary.
what comes to mind, say it. Okay, so let's start with Attorney Myles, then Attorney Chielo, and then Engineer Jaro. Okay, Attorney Myles, court or field?
I'm sorry?
Court or field?
Court.
Attorney Chielo, home or office?
Home.
Engineer Luigi, day or night?
Night.
Attorney Myles, night owl or early bird?
Early bird.
Okay.
Ball pen or pencil?
Ball pen.
Engineer Luigi, beach or mountains?
Mountains.
Attorney Myles, summer or rainy season?
Summer.
Attorney Chielo, sleep or study?
Sleep.
Engineer Luigi, favorite mentor? Graduate na bitaw ka. Favorite
Bejar.
mentor?
Dean, the most important thing you learned from law school?
Oh, many. The most important thing, the values that Silliman taught me in relation to law. As I mentioned, law with a conscience.
Attorney Chielo, 3 things you do first in the morning.
Prepare coffee, meditate, and then read the Bible.
With a conscience indeed.
Engineer Luigi, 3 things you do before sleeping?
YouTube,
You too.
check email, and call girlfriend.
Sana all?
Hashtag sana all. Attorney Myles, describe SU law.
Describe SU law. I think the best person to answer that would be our fresh
I'll change the
fresh
question.
graduate.
3 habits of a lawyer.
3 habits of a lawyer. Okay, read,
Read.
and write.
Okay, going back to your question a while
Yes.
ago, describe SU Law, Luigi.
The best law school in the world. For me.
Okay.
Wow. Thank you very much, Attorney Myles Bejar, Attorney Chielo, and of course, soon to be Attorney Jaro, for your time. And we have now come to the last segment of this episode. It's called hashtag WTP, or Words to Ponder. Ron, what is your word to ponder for this episode?
You know, our guests for tonight are really inspiring, Josh. I'd like to pick Dean Bejar's description about law school, or what does it take to be a good lawyer. He mentioned about discipline and empathy, and I'm torn between the 2 words, but I'd like to choose empathy. Because, you know, Josh, before, I have a misconception about lawyers and law school, that they are rational, that they are firm, no? But listening to what they said a while ago, you know, it takes an empath to be a good lawyer, because to understand your client, you have to put yourself on their shoes. And I think that is what law is all about. Not just law, I think, but even the other professions. No? It takes for us to have an empathy and compassion to really understand another person.
Right.
No? How about you, Josh? What is your word to ponder?
I'd like to pick from the words of Attorney Chielo. She mentioned about emotional stability as well. So she said that we should have a holistic approach. And I think the word for me is really to be holistic, you know, not just to be intellectually competent, but you also have to have that emotional stability, because outside or inside the law school will really be subjected into circumstances that are extreme. So if I may use the word, Attorney Chielo, no? So we just have to be holistic, and I'm glad that we're in Silliman University. We promote competence, character, and faith. And there's no more holistic framework than that. So thank you very much for joining another episode of #Silliman. To God be the glory. Hey there, Sillimanians! Thank you for joining another episode of #Silliman. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's called #Silliman. And of course, follow us on Facebook. It's still called #Silliman. Don't forget to share, comment, and like. See you there!
And catch us at Phil Products every Monday at 8 p.m. and replays will be shown every Tuesday before the noontime news and Saturday after the noontime news. This has been Ronelyn Vailoces
and Joshua Soldivillo. See you next week only here on
#Silliman.
See you! Bye-bye!